What is up, y'all? So, what we're going to do for today's episode of, I don't know, I kind of want to think of a cooler name. It's probably going to be changing until I can find something I'm happy with, but we're just called Facts by Dax for now. Is the problem with USA Swimming, right? We're going to give you, let's just say in some world, we are now in the I'm the USA Swimming CEO, right? And it's a straight up dictatorship, Czar Daxicles, okay? And we are going to cover. It's a short list, 5 quick things, and these are basically quick things that I could implement or would implement with complete and total aggression and zero intolerance, and they would right the ship of USA Swimming. It would take some time for the cash flow to come in, but within a year for sure. But we're going to say 4 to 6 months. We're going to get this thing set off. So the first point is athlete funding. Okay, so our athletes are always crying about how they're too incompetent to make their own money and that they need USA Swimming to make it for them, right? Yeah, that's how I feel every time I see someone crying on the internet about how I don't make enough money. I didn't make enough money. You know what I did? I shut my mouth and ate my $2 spaghetti dinners while I was at SwimMac. Yeah, David, if you're just not finding that out now. That's why I was down 10 pounds, 15 pounds while I was up there. I was 205. UT, I was 219. I was looking handsome, though. The Charlotte Honeys love some Dax. But anyway, so here's how this is going down, right? Let's just say let's say 10 mil, right? I don't know what the current budget is, but let's just say 10 mil is what we're putting into the athletes currently, right? Whatever, so if they're making $40,000, that's what it was when that was a fully funded athlete. Partially funded was like 28, I think. So obviously 40,000 times whatever, you're not going to end up hitting that 10 mil. But let's just say some of that goes into like marketing, whatever, right? So 10 mil, right? To whatever unsatisfactory wage USA Swimming is paying their athletes. Here's how this goes down. I'm a businessman, okay? I'm not a guy paid to be CEO. It's a very distinct difference. I just had this conversation with my mom, actually. There's people who are paid to solve problems, and there's people who are paid to hold a title or to do a job, right? Not necessarily execute the job, but to do the job, right? Like, I am paid to be the CEO, but I'm not paid to solve the problems that grow the company. I'm just here to say I'm the CEO. So, but I am not the CEO. I am here to make that dough. And that rhymed. But here's how this goes down, you crying, whiny babies, is you're going to work for your money. Okay? Earth to USA Swimming athletes, there's no more whining allowed. Over. No more. You're going to put in the work. Here's how it's actually going to go down, because I'm really not liking this crying. You're making us look weak. Back-to-back World War champs, and you over here whining? So yeah, that shit's dead. So here's what's going to happen. 40,000 is what you're making. You're going to 15. You're going to 15 just because you're crying. I don't like babies. I don't like crybabies. Grown-ass adults being crybabies just disgusts me. Like, you're a swimmer. Your whole life has been working for something and getting it. Imagine if somebody, and you've lived this, somebody on your team crying about why they deserve a relay spot, but then they don't show up to practice, so they don't work hard. And how do you feel about that? It's disgusting. That's how I feel about you crying about why you don't make money. So that's why you're now at $15,000 if you can't pull this off. All right? You get the job done and you get the bread that comes with it, or you can go cry in the ether about really not getting paid. So yeah, $15,000. That's what everybody's at. We're gonna light a fire under your ass to get you to work. You are now responsible for doing whatever you can to inspire a club, let's say a club team, to pay you I'm going to say 1,000, and all these things kind of go into it. So we're going to give you the answers, you crybabies. Let's just say they're going to pay you $2,000 a month, and you're going to represent their team. So let's see. You know what? I have a an iron fist, but I rule with a velvet glove on it. So we're going to let you feel the velvet before you get your teeth slapped out of your mouth. So we'll keep you at the 40,000, right? I'm gonna give you a year velvet glove, because I don't want to smack you with this diamond hand, but I will. Okay, so you're making $3,000 a month, 3,333 and some repeating decimals. Yeah, you see that TIA name Platinum? Yeah. This is from 2007. This is high school. This is what we was rocking. 3D graphing calculator. What you know about that? 3D, third dimension. So you're making $3,300, right? You're gonna find a way to get another $2,000 through sponsorship by representing a school or a swim team, local team. All right, so that bumps you up to $5,000. So times 12. 64,000, right? So you just went from 40,000 to 64,000. Okay. So, and here's what you're going to do. You're not going to be a bum and just go in there freeloading. Your job, and this is what you're going to tell the team, is you're going to bring in, so if they're going to pay you $2,000 a month, what's that in? Let's just say $200 team fees, right? So $2,000 divided by 200, 10 people. You need to find a way to either get the team to make 10 new people, right, per month, or if they get 10 people in and they stay in, right? And like I said, we're going to give you the answers because you want to cry so much. You're incompetent and can't figure it out yourself. We're going to make sure you have the answers since you can't figure it out. We're going to spoon feed it to you like you're in a baby chair. And I'm sorry, I apologize. It's coming off so hateful, but you're bringing it out of me. You're bringing it out of me. It's like in basketball, you hear this guy just whining. It's like, you're sorry. Stop crying. Just sit at the end of the bench and shut up. Like that's how it makes me feel. So you need 10 members. All right, so you're going to tell the team you're going to get them 10 members, 10 new swimmers over the course of the year. That's option one. And like I said, I'm going to give you the answers, okay? Little Google Gaga. Or you're going to have them either raise their membership to pay for it, right? Which is probably the easiest way, just be like, hey, we're going to have this great swimmer from a pro team, Olympian, but they're going to represent us. They're going to come to our local meets. They're going to hang out with the team, but we're basically paying him to be like our mascot or whatever. And they're going to represent us when they go to all these major meets. They're going to wear our cap so your kid can look up to them as somebody in the sport. They're going to hang out with our team. They're going to talk to our team. It don't come for free. You ain't getting this $2,000 to sit on your ass and cry like a little baby. You're going to get up and you're going to work. Okay? So now you've got an extra $2,000. Either they increase their rates, which the parents, and this is the thing you assume doesn't understand. It's about the parents' experience through the kids' experience, okay? So if the kid's having a great time and they feel like they're loved and appreciated and learning and growing, if the parent feels that, they'll pay $5, okay, to have this athlete. And as a swimmer, you should be good with kids. And, all you gotta do is, let's just say once every month, you have an actual formal sit down, and let's just say every week. No, let's just say this is what you're going to do. Because you can't get out of, you can't get out of the high chair. Once every week, you can pick the day. Nope, incompetent. I'm not going to do that to you on Friday. So every Thursday, you're responsible to go and sit through from beginning to end, their entire practice. You need to figure this out with your coach. I don't care if your practice is at 3. You're not going to that practice because you got $2,000 to make. Figure out another schedule with your coach. Well, that was not, pardon me on that. But you're going to go sit there from 30 minutes before the pool opens to 30 minutes to an hour after. And you're just going to be there and hang out and take photos and talk to the parents, rub elbows, high five the kids, be a voice on deck, coaching the kids, cheering them on. If the coach has got tips he wants you to give athletes, you're going to go give those tips. You're going to be a technique person. And, if you see someone and the coach is cool with you, help. That's how you're going to make that money. All right. And then I just say 4 weeks in a month. I know it's more, it's 4.3, but one of those Thursdays, you're going to do either a clinic, autographs, or pictures. You don't have to do all three unless you want to, but you're definitely going to do one of those. Okay. And so you need to figure out I think it's 53 weeks in a year, right? God, I hope it's not 56. 53 weeks in a year. So you need 53 topics. Right? Now, say you do pictures on one of those. Or every other. Just cut how many topics you need. You see what I'm saying? So, but here's the thing though. If you want to make that money then next year, you can't just run back what you're doing before, right? So maybe you set up and this is what I'm talking about. Like, I'm the man here on this. Okay, I have all the ideas, right? So another one you can do is you have a local community day in your neighborhood. I'm gonna give you all this. This is free game. You can take this, okay? This is what I learned at the University of Texas, and this is why the University of Texas, we breed champions, because everything we do is about being the best. Is you're going to go to the local college or high school, people who need volunteer hours. You're going to go by the police station and you're going to go by the fire truck station and you're going to put on a community day where they do face painting, fire truck stuff, pictures, whatever, police, same thing, right? And at the end of it, they talk to you, everybody who came to visit. You get them signed up into swim lessons or joining the team. Boom. Now you've also brought people in the team. And one. You ever heard that from anybody in swimming? Come up with a solution like that? I'm dropping 40 with my eyes closed. Okay. There's how you get your funding, athlete. There's an extra $2,000. Now, obviously, you can negotiate for more if you want to, because $5 ain't that much, right? 10, 20. Euro step. What y'all know about that? Take the contact. Take the contact. Y'all don't know about this. Somebody at USA Swimming. Cut the check. All right. Number 2, we fully fund the Daxhill/Rakeley team growth plan, membership growth plan. All right. Now, I'm not going to put it out there completely because I want y'all stealing my formulas. And I was so close to getting bread. I was working with a local team, and I almost had us breaded up. They're gonna cut a check to me every year, nice check, and a check to the team every year, because I think it was like at 0.8%, it pays for itself, like the amount of money they were gonna give us, right? And it's basically like I was gonna try and get as close to a lifetime contract as possible. Because you're going to generate money from this for a lifetime, you're going to pay us for a lifetime then. And basically, though, we ended up having the initial run. If USA Swimming really cared about these underprivileged communities, this is why I don't believe any of this shit, right? We're going to go on this tangent real quick. Right? I remember they're always like, oh, we need like community outreach, DEI, blah, 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 black people in swimming, blah, blah, blah. Drowning numbers, blah, blah, blah. And I remember I was just like, just cut the check. Build a pool. Build a 50-meter pool in one of these communities. Just start there. You just start with the basic. Give them a space to swim in. And nothing ever happened. And you think like, okay, it costs a lot of money, sure. And then the pandemic happened, and then they were giving out all those like $1 million loans to teams or grants to keep their pools. And it was like, okay, so you had the money the whole time. Guys... Hear me when I say this. They always have the money. They always have the money. Okay. They just don't want to give it to you. Okay? Remember that. So I was like, okay, these guys are a bunch of fakers and liars. And Why was the DI thing come up? Okay. So if they were on their P's and Q's, right? So 60 people, so I think it was 63 was our actual number. And we had 41 then 6 months later. So he was outside. Different people. So it's 61 swimmers times $85. That's your yearly registration. That's $5,000 in fees, right? So my program is you're going to pay these teams who want to be a part of this program. You give them a $5,000 loan, no interest, because the money, we're trying to get to some real money. We ain't trying to be cheap and make our money back on the money we're giving. No, we're winners. We know we're going to get our money back, so we're going to behave like it. As Tsar Daxicles, Tsar Daxosaurus Rex, Tsar Daxander the Great. We are not putting any interest on this because we know we're going to win. We don't need to just steal money from these people, these teams, because we're afraid we won't win. We're cutting you a $5,000 check. You're going to use this to run the Dax Hill Rakeley program. And when you do this, we're going to make money back. We're going to make it back in the first year. Okay? Now, as the athlete who's seeking their funding, you can be the one to introduce this to your local team who's going to pay you. And just so you know, I'm going to give you some insider trading. And this goes out to even if you're a coach, you're going to be a future employee, I'm going to give you this secret. All right. If you're going to be a salesman, especially, it'll work for you. Ask for money on what you bring in. All right. Now, the best way to do this is take no salary and ask only for money on what you bring in, but that's also super risky. And most people, y'all ain't built to be champions like that, to take the real risk, to be in the gutter because you believe in yourself that much. So I understand. But basically, you'd be like, okay, so for every swimmer I bring in, I want this much money, this much percent, right? So, right, you get a $2,000, right, if you're an athlete. So you can get an idea of the numbers. So $2,000 divided by. So if you only made $2,000 from. No, that's not right. If you brought in 61 athletes and your team's fees were $200 an athlete, that team is going to make $12,000. See that right there? $12,000. All right. You can take a cut of that, and the team's going to be happy because you're going to do all the work. And you throw in the field day. You see what I'm saying? You see how well thought out this solution is? And I came up with this, and see, I know that we're going to run this game. Of all the brilliant minds in swimming, right, and of all the brilliant leadership we've had, I'm the one with the answers. And we're going to pay you to make money. University of Texas, home of champions. What starts here changes the world. The pride and winning tradition of the Texas Longhorns shall not be entrusted to the weak nor the timid. Recognize, it ain't no joke. Got off my rocker right there. But I'm the czar. I'm the USA Swimming czar. So I can do whatever I want, say whatever I want. Okay, so yeah, you're gonna make $12,000 for your team. With your $200 fees. So I'm just gonna say I want, let's say 10%. Right? No, 10% will take you to less than that. So you say 20%? Yeah, that'll give you $2,400. There you go. You can ask for more than that if you want to. Right? Because if you just took $2,000, right, they still making $10,000, right? Let's be real. Let's just you doing all the lifting, take what you want, bro. Be reasonable because you're playing the long game too. I would say you're gonna pay me $2,000, and then I want 30% of every new swimmer I bring in. All right, so if you bring in 63, what's 30% of that? There's another $3,000. So now instead of making $2,000, you're getting that $2,000 flat fee from the team. So let's just say they increase everybody's rates by $5, and they're also, so after they pay you the $2,000, they keep the rest of that $5. And then every swimmer that comes in, right? This is me being generous, right? 30% of that You're walking out with another of that, right? And I believe the exact number was 2,200 of $2,000. So now you're almost at $6,000. You're at 5860 on top of your USA Swimming money. No, yeah, it's 40. No, USA Swimming money was 2,200. So 44 or 42, 7. So you're almost at $9,000. As an athlete, are you happy now? Are you tired of crying? Daxton did it for you. This is why, I mean, y'all don't know this, but I'm the most known unknown person in USA Swimming for a reason, okay? Especially when it comes to Texas. I'm him in this state. They see it. They can just sense it. They didn't even need to hear my intelligence. They just sense like that 6'8" black boy. He got it. He got the sauce. I don't know what it is. You know, he's only won the 200 free and 2 relays. Something. He got it. Something. Why do I brag on myself, guys? Because you wasn't doing it before now when I was poor living with rats and mice. I was the only person hyping myself up then, so I'm going to keep hyping myself up now. I don't need you to do it for me. I got it. Believe you me, I got that under control. All right, so fully fund the Rakely Growth Program. So every team gets $5,000, and I show you how to make this money. If you're an athlete, you've got an even sweeter deal now. Shout out to our Daxicles. Dax a million. Okay, so we have the next one is social media. Like this is kind of just the first two. Obviously, that's a much more thought out. The Daxton and Rakely money making machine. But we need it is what it is style social media show. So this is, and I've said this also about all of our current social media in the swimming sphere. Terrible. Removed from the culture. You need some melanin, dog. So you're going with, this is the combination. 2 black swimmers. They need to be successful. And then 1 white swimmer. Preferably girl, she's the moderator. And the purpose is, I think about myself. I put myself in their shoes. I hate keeping up with swimming media. I do it because it's my job. But if I could not do it and just me have a moderator here who brings up the topics and we just go, and they're the swim nerd and the typical swimmer and I can just be fly myself, banger of a TV show. Banger. Award winning. All right, so we're going to run that. And USA Swimming, obviously it's going to be in the USA Swimming banner. So they're just going to collect all that, whatever. They're straight clout to them, right? You don't know it is what it is, go YouTube it. Great. It's my favorite sports show. Step 4, under the reign of the terror of Czar Dax Kong, is we're promoting athletes with personality. So I don't care if you're an Olympic gold medalist, that shit's played out. If you got a big personality, we're putting you out there. You know why? Because the people we're trying to get money from, the market we're trying to get into, they don't care that you're a gold medalist. They ain't watching you anyways. So we're going to make sure we put the personalities out there that people can gravitate to in the media. Okay? And the best you will get, Mr. Silver gold medalist, Olympic champion, with no personality, is you will ride shotgun to that athlete. And I'm sorry if it makes you feel bad and you're just not used to... I almost... said some, almost got grimy right there. Is you can kind of, the same way I said about that foil between like the USA Swimming Style, It Is What It Is podcast with like the nerdy typical swimmer, not fit in society person, and then the black athlete. Like that's going to be your dichotomy. Obviously, there are white swimmers with personalities. I know because I had teammates at UT who had tons of personality, but that's like they're running the point, okay? Because when you say some corny shit that nobody wants to hear, they need to be able to make fun of you for it and really pull the inner you out that will make you an attractive human being to follow, okay, and winner instead of some robot who just gets medals. Number 5. Number 5 goes in place of, or goes with my thing. How do I want to say this? Actually, no, we don't need number 5. So yeah, there's my 4 things. We're going with 4. Those are good 4. So we have the athlete funding from members or equals membership growth, right? You want more money? I need you to go make more money and give us our cut, and then or give us the money you make, allow us to make our money from athlete membership fees, and we'll pay you more. On top of what you get from your club team, we got the Daxton Rakely Money Maker Machine, or membership growth. That's another marketing lesson for you guys, right? You say Daxton Money Making Machine, it's kind of feels like you're being taken advantage of. You say Daxton membership growth opportunity, different, right? Depends on who you're talking to. But the Daxton Money Making Machine can be used by everybody, right? It's for USA Swimming to give these grants out to pay people to run the program and pay for all the services the program needs, so that we can make money back off them through our membership fees. And then the team will also get to grow and make money off their own membership fees. And as an athlete, you can be the one who spearheads this, so you can demand compensation for what you bring in, right? In terms of new swimmers. It is what it is style podcast show on YouTube. 2 black male athletes, 1 white athlete. These are all swimmers. You know, some amount of success and notoriety in the sport where I can call up anybody in some community and get, if this was a real thing, I can call up anybody and get them come sit down and talk with us, right? So all 3 people need to have some type of connection. They only all need the same contacts, but connections where the wheel can turn, right? And then preferably girl for the white person. And then promoting athletes with personality. Gotta have personality. We gotta be able to push in the media. So as Czar Daxalini, Czar, or Prime Minister, what was that guy's name? I'm drawing a color blank. Daxton Churchill. This is what goes down. And there ain't no no's. If you don't get it or you don't understand it, or you have some holdups, figure out how to get over your holdup, figure out how to do it the way you want to do it, because I expect these 4 things to go down. Oh, just missed a trash can. Peace, y'all.